ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीं अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all who are listening this talk on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are deliberating verses from chapter number 12, Dvadash Adhyaya, Bhakti Yoga. In the last class, we had seen until verses number 17. Now, here, from verses number 13 onwards, what is going on is a narration about a state, a character achieved by a devotee. That epitome of perfection, when he has established himself in the sadhana which was explained in the verses from 6 onwards. Etu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha, etc. So, Ananya Yoga, that for the sake of referring this set of verses, we can use this name again, not to take it something like, so this is a new yoga as if, and a new term, need not necessarily be. So, Ananya Yoga, uninterrupted meditation or uninterrupted union with the divine. Ananya Yoga. So, as a result of which, if that is true, if one has really established himself and rooted himself in the divine, how his character will manifest. That is being shown from these verses number 13 onward. So here are a couple of verses remaining of this chapter. Now, I had said one thing when I had started deliberating on these verses, and I am repeating that idea once again because it is very crucial when we approach these verses. That idea being that this is not just narration about the qualities of the individual. It is not narration about it. Okay. That you should have this kind of quality, you should not do like this, you should do like this. This is not moral code of conduct being advocated. It is not that. Terming it as such, it would be downgrading this one of the most enthralling message, sermon in this portion of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. These verses in this 12th chapter from verse number 13 onwards. Then what is it? Because here all the time all discussion is about qualities of the individual. I had said that this is nothing but the meditation on Brahman, meditation on the Chaitanya itself, and with that perspective only you should approach these things. Meaning that when these qualities manifest, most important is where they are coming forth from. Where are their roots? Where are they? Remember this thing. Now, we will see this verse number 18. This says, Samo shatraucha mitraucha, Samo shatrocha mitrecha, Tatha manapamanayoho, Shitoshna sukha dukkheshu, Samah sanga vivarjitaha. Tulya ninda stutir mauni, Santushto ena kenachit, Aniketah sthiramatir, Bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Bhaktiman me priyo naraha. 2 verses 18 and 19. So, many times I say that love for God, love God, ईश्वर के प्रति प्रेम, ईश्वर को प्रेम करना, भक्ति करना. But here are the verses which are dealing with, which are telling about what? Not about how and who should love God, but rather who are beloved of God. भगवान किसको प्रेम करते हैं? है ना? तो कोई तो करता है कि है ना कि मैं भगवान, मैं ठाकुर, मैं तुमको प्रेम करता हूं. अरे ठाकुर तुमको भी प्रेम करते हैं कि नहीं, ये भी तो एक बार सोचो. तुमने ऐसा कुछ किया है क्या? तुम्हारे कर्म ऐसे कुछ है कि जिससे मतलब वो भी तुम्हारा स्मरण करे? है कि नहीं? सो दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट, है ना? ये तो वन साइड लव अफेयर हो जाएगा कि तुम ही कर रहे हो, वो तो कुछ कर ही नहीं रहा है, उसका कुछ रिस्पांस ही नहीं है. तो भगवान ने बोला है कि मेरा रिस्पांस आएगा किस तरह से. तो ये सब कंडीशंस है. ये लाइक 18-19 वर्स, they end in me priyo naraha, that is the person who is beloved of me, to whom I love. 17th verse, it ends bhaktiman ya same priya, that is the person to whom I love. 16th verse ends as yo mad bhakta same priya, so that is the devotee which is beloved of me, etc. 15th verse also similarly And 13 and 14 verse also, Same Priyaha, etc. So these are the verses where Bhagavan is very particularly putting it, who will find his place in my heart. So that would be the devotee, beloved of me, who would be worthy of my affection, my grace, that I will love him. So, what is being said here? Bhagavan said, Samaha shatraucha mitrecha tatha man apamanayoho. The person who is equanimous towards an enemy as well as a friend. Equanimous in insult as well as praise. Equanimous in Shita and Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha. And he is Samaha, equanimous. And how? Sangha Vivarjitaha, that he is Varjitaha of all attachment. Vivarjitaha, that spectacularly bereft of all attachment. Now that's why I said, these are not just qualities. What it must provoke in our mind is to understand how is it this becomes possible. So these ideas which this earlier been discussed in from verses number 6 onward, etu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha ananyainaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasati. So the person who has reached this culmination, who has realized this ephemeral nature of the world and established himself, firmly rooted himself into that reality transcending this materiality, that consciousness. Now for such a person, therefore, so whatever vyavahara is taking place on this worldly plane, now he can have disregard for it, because he does not depend, neither is trying to defend, procure further his interests here. Then only these things can become meaningless for him as they come and go. And depending on this interest, only there is someone who is favorable, that becomes your friend, and who is antagonistic becomes your enemy, Shatru and Mitra. And because you have dissolved all your ego, become one with that, this is what we call as epitome of spiritual realization. Becoming one with the divine, that he experiences nothing but the divine. Like that verse from 4th chapter, Brahmarapanam Brahmahavi Brahmagno Brahmana Hutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So like that, as if it is a huge ocean and all waves, they are taking forms, they are rising from the ocean only, they are made up of that consciousness only. They are playing, striking the other waves and intermixing and again dissolving into that ocean of consciousness only. there exists nothing but the Atman. Atman alone abides. Idam sarvam khalu Brahma. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. This knowledge. Now, just by the force of the prarabdha, the body sustained, this experience is happening. And according to that prarabdha, good and bad things are happening. As long as this body lasts. So, there would be some people, though apparently behaving like enemy or somebody like a friend. So, both are then just a play of Brahman, interacting, intermixing and dissolving into Brahman only. So, this equanimity therefore rises from this, that oneness of consciousness, all pervading, all permeating, all enveloping. Absolutely, without any reservation, without any gap, without any air bubble. So there is nothing like Jada, there is only Chaitanya. So for such a realization, for a man of such realization, then these terms only become apparent. Shatru or Mitra. So therefore, mana and apamana, shita or ushna, sukha or dukkha. And therefore, so all about this variation in the terms of the Vishayas, they mean absolutely nothing much to him. So every time he is focused on the content of all these modifications, and that content being the only one thing, that content being that pure consciousness, existence, knowledge, bliss, Sat Chit Ananda. That Satchidananda, it is a play of Satchidananda. That somebody has become a benign and somebody has become violent. They are just the apparent projections and they mean nothing. So that person doesn't feel influenced or affected by it. And that's why that his equanimity is firmly rooted in that realization of Brahma. Samaha. Samaha shatrocha mitrecha. Then only the true equanimity. It is not the outer behavior or propaganda of it, even still cheaper. That see, I have exactly dealt with equanimity, equality with this apparent enemy of mine who has such and such bad things about me. And this is also my friend. I have also not accorded any special privilege to him. You can at the most become a politician. This is not a talk. This is not talk. This is not publicity. This is not propaganda. That how great saint I am. It is not question of that. Whether he is doing his praise or he is doing his insult. Now, Shita Ushna, this also means, or Sukha Dukkha also means, it is not related to just related to temperature, that something is cool and something is hot. It can be also related to something which you experience, which is nice, pleasing, and something which is not. So similarly, Sukha or Dukkha to your indriyas, to your body, or to your mind. So, and absolutely, one who is maintaining this equanimity, for that person only, sama sanga vivarjitah, this adjective can be utilized. Now we will think or consider another aspect of this idea. Let us see. So these ideas are being spoken. Okay. So that person, the person who is speaking, here the Bhagavan Krishna himself, whether he exactly like this, whether he is not provoked by insults any time, or whether he has missed all pardoning to the enemies. No, he is not. He used the excuse of insults hurled at him by Shishupala to take out his head. Didn't he? He did. Okay. Or to other Shatruds. He was vanquisher of the foes. There is no question about it. So what is the idea? So these ideas then, whether they are meant for the practical living or not. So that's why I said, so these conditions and this behavior, the person who has realized this state of mind, who has realized this epitome of perfection, this highest spirituality, he has not forsaken his brain. He has not forsaken his brain. He has not forsaken his viveka, discrimination. He has not forsaken his knowledge about the world. He exactly knows. One great Holy Mother, Sarda Devi, her last message, that is very greatly emphasized, and so that 3 lines, many eloquent and erudite and scholarly, saintly monks of the Ramakrishna order, they deliberated on those 3 lines, considered her last message. So she said, if you want peace of mind, my child, then do not look at the faults of others. Rather, look at your own faults. Nobody is stranger in this world. Try to make everyone your own with love. This is what she said. Okay. Now she said, for her probably it is true also. Her life was like that. What about us? Because now it is Upadesha. So when deliberating upon these ideas, the great secret of this theoretical idealism and practical spirituality, this is also one thing I had said in these previous classes. I do not remember which one, but in last few classes, that your understanding of spirituality is going to be always imperfect if you only that understanding is derived from theoretical idealistic texts. If it is just derived from text, then your understanding of spirituality is going to be always incomplete. Always incomplete, it will be always immature, and you will never understand where true spirituality is like. Therefore, Ishvara avatar is always, again and again, Ishvara takes avatar to show again and again what spirituality truly is, what therefore path is, what therefore objective is, and how this has to be again and again, because whatever has been said already has been said. There is nothing new to add. But again and again, every time a new avatar comes and again he says the same thing to in different way, in different context, different terminology, etc. Again he shows the same thing, that how this is to be utilized, how this is to be understood, how this is to be practiced, how this is put to use, how this is to be exploited, get benefited, and attain this spiritual evolution. So, in all these things, the Holy Mother's message, so I said, so you cannot understand only if it is derived from the idealistic texts. If your understanding is theoretically idealistic texts only. Unless you see them with imperfection in a living person. Without that, your understanding of spirituality is going to be always incomplete. Take the example of any Rama, Krishna, Chaitanya, Buddha, any great soul, any great soul. They live with imperfection and then show you spirituality. हमारे यहाँ तो ऐसे महामानव है कि इन सबके जीवन में भी दोष भी निकालते हैं, त्रुटि भी निकालते हैं, निंदा भी करते हैं बड़े महान लोग हैं। तो ये सब समय मिलेगा। राम को भी दोष देने वाले लोग थे ही, कृष्ण को तो थे ही, आज भी है, आज भी कितना कुछ करते हैं, वो तो अलग बात। So, while understanding spirituality, therefore, these two things are necessary. One of our acharyas, when we were at training center, he had said this, that to understand an idea, you will have to see who has said it, his own life, and the scriptures. These three things must be matched. उसकी वाणी, शिक्षा या उपदेश, his own life, actions, and the scriptures. These three things must be tallied. And then you have the grasp of the idea. So if spirituality has to be really understood, we will have to study it in imperfection. And then you can get the grasp of it. Now, the meaning of this or implication of this is, when Mother says that do not look at the faults of others, she said do not look. She didn't say that you be so stupid that you cannot understand it. That is not spirituality. Spirituality cannot be against intelligence. Being idiot is not spiritual. Certainly not. 100% not. In Sri Ramakrishna's life, there are several it is his famous statement that he is saying to Swami Yoganandaji Maharaj, that because you have to become a devotee, are you to become a fool? No. When you are overlooking at something, it is at your personal discretion. It is your it is your prerogative. It is within your power to ignore it. And with that power you do, that you do not mind it. That would be real overlooking, not looking at the faults of others. From where this idea comes? Because this idea comes from a lot of spiritual maturity. So any person in general, if he has worked hard, become successful, or even not, but especially the people who has done tremendous work in their life, the result of which is these people, and especially we see this in the successful people, what we see in their life, they become very kind, they become very considerate, they become very compassionate, they do not mind the faults of others. They are always encouraging others. So, okay, all right, no problem. Because they had seen a lot in their life. They are a lot. So, some mistakes of some people. So, this compassion towards others, it comes by knowing this process, how an individual grows, he functions, how he is limited, how the odds are there, how somebody suffers due to the sins he or she himself commits. From this knowledge, this compassion comes. And that's why they are kind. And that's why they can say, do not look at the faults. Because this is how the nature works. He might have committed lot of mistakes, lot of errors, but he is a prisoner of that idea. He, just by your wish, cannot be as good as you want him or her to be. It cannot be. So that's why this consideration, and that's why there's compassion. So when every virtue we talk about, every great message we talk about, it is springing forth from that fountain of spirituality. Understanding of this Prakriti, flow of Prakriti, how individuals progress. And while progressing, how many ups and downs those individuals has to go. So, therefore, neither they have any arrogance about it, but they are also very encouraging for others, very considerate of others' follies, mistakes, or sins, you may, if you say so. Samashatraucha mitrecha tatha manapamanayoho. The person who therefore has realized this state of mind, this realization, this play of God. So, like an elderly gentleman, he is just do not mind his, that toddler, grandchild or great grandchild, even if he does any offense towards that elderly gentleman. There is one story. So once it is said, these are all made up of stories, many in the name of Akbar, these great characters, well-known characters, Akbar and Birbal. Many stories of people, they wrote like that. So it is said that Akbar asked one question in his court. He asked that what should be the punishment of the person who pulls my beard and slaps me? What should be the punishment? So everybody struck that who will do such kind of offense? Okay, somebody saying he should be beheaded, he's this, that, all kinds of negative reaction. And one person then again, Birbal, who is smiling and laughing, he said, what? You're seeing this funny? That somebody insults me like that, and what do you have to say? And then he said that, my lord, if somebody says that, if somebody does that, he should be given nice kisses and given toys, something to play, some sweets to eat. So, and then everybody, so somebody is perplexed that what is this? Then the king, the emperor starts laughing, that only Birbal could understand. Okay, that who could even approach him unless it is his grandson, the child. He can do that. He does not have any regard for who his grandfather is, whether he is Akbar himself or not. Okay. So he can be very kind and considerate. He doesn't mind that even if he's kicking him. So he won't mind. Okay. So the person, therefore, who has absolutely realized that state of mind where this futility of the samsara, this unreal nature of the samsara, of the worldly objects, of worldly existence, including his own body, the senses, and whatever ensues from this body, the relations, the interest, so they all become unreal. And therefore, he can disregard any duality with respect to it, like Shatru and Mitra, like Man and Apamana, like comfortable or inconvenient, favorable or not. And that person then definitely, how can he have attachment to something which he considers real? Like you might have seen earlier time in people, when TV and cinema, they become popular and commonplace. So then serials or movies, those are happening. Okay, so they are being played by actors. Okay, they are as realistic as possible, though they are scripted. If that is movie that is going to be is going to end in say max 3 hours, okay, or that serial is suppose going on, serial is all the more involving those episodes after episodes. So I have seen ladies especially, they get so emotionally involved in that. My grandmother was there. So that time that serial used to come, Shanti, that was probably first kind of TV series which was used to every day, I think 5 days a week on Doordarshan it used to come, and she is watching that. So there is some so all drama. So every day they have to pull, probably more than 1 year or so, it was every day it was the story is going on, that some the character, this thing, that thing, so all turns, twist. So they are master of that, the people who are writing those scripts. Okay, every day suppose half an hour or something like that, and lot of advertisement that is going on. But my grandmother is so involved. While cutting her vegetables also she is cursing. That one there is character Mr. Kamat. So Kamat ko gali de rahi hai. So this fellow like this, like that. I said, grandmother, don't cut your fingers. After Kamat is the but she, even though she understands, she wants to be real and she wants to enjoy that way. She knows it is coming in TV, all right, but she enjoys that emotional drama. She's enjoyed like there was another one girl similar to my age or like that. She used to get so involved into that watching TV. So here itself she is reacting, watching that, suppose that movie, or somebody's stealing somebody's pocket. Oh, this fellow will steal his pocket now. Something like that. So she means it is movie, or that it is just a play and it is not realistically happening somewhere. That distinction has vanished. That distinction has vanished. So this becomes real. For whom the distinction is very clear, for them it's a play, it's a movie, it's a storytelling, and they will judge and criticize in every other way. What is good, what is bad, what is acting is at par or not, direction, photography is all at par or not, whether thousands of scores on different ways, whether this is done right or not. So this fellow is not there to say, at all enjoy the story also. So only looking for the faults. So but at this stage, a person who has realized, who had not realized earlier, and who has realized now he can clearly see the distinction. That people, like in Sri Ramakrishna's life, in the life of any avatar, you see, some people are even, and this is always has been like that, this has been a play of the divine, that when Ishwar avatar comes taking the form of a human being, Sri Ramakrishna says he behaves like a human being. He behaves like a human being. So with Sri Ramakrishna said, with all 24 karat gold, no ornaments can be made. Unless you mix some copper into it, unless there is some adulteration into it, you cannot make ornaments out of it. So with some maya only, unless this knowledge is little bit covered, this lila cannot happen. Lila cannot happen. So this is the this is how it plays. That verse which I said and quote again and again in the 4th chapter, 6th verse. Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan prakrutim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atma mayaya. That though I am that Brahman which is unborn, undying, infinite, undivided, avyaya, kutastha, atma, though I am that principle, though I am sarva bhutanam ishvara, ishvaras sarva bhutanam, then I am ruler, one God of all beings, of all creation, of all existence, still he says, Prakrutim swam adhisthaya, my Prakruti adhisthaya, taking help of her, making her as adhisthana, sambhavami, I take birth. I take birth. I am not born. So he is not in passive voice. He is in active voice. I take birth. He is not born by some agencies, like every one of us, due to the force of our karma phala. He is born by his active volition, by his own will. Sambhavami, in active voice. Atma mayaya, my with the help of, with the instrument of own maya. Maya is mine. I do not belong to maya. That is the point. Presiding over my maya, presiding over my Prakriti, with the help of maya, I become born. Like, apparently, like everybody else. To the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, to the son of Kaushalya and Dasharath, etc., etc. So, Sri Ramakrishna said at one point that only 12 rishis, Bharadwaja 12 rishis, they knew that he is Purna Brahmanarayan, and most of the people, therefore, including Dasharath, Kaushalya or Sita, Lakshman, they do not know that Ram is the God himself. So even if they have fragments, some glimpses of his divinity, but Maya is powerful, they will immediately forget it. Immediately forget it. They will not be able to. If Yashoda remembers, have the consciousness that he is God, there would be now no that motherly affection, and that Leela will not happen. She is running after him, she is angry over him, and she is trying to chastise him. She is blaming him. Due to you, everybody is complaining, and everybody is saying so many things to me, and you do not listen to me. You steal these things, you break the pots of the other women, you behave rowdy, this way, that way. So many things she is saying to him. And at the time she has having the tremendous pull and attraction, because he is the God Lord himself. And this play would not happen if she would be with this consciousness that he is the divine himself. She would not have this. So Shishupala, he would not, Duryodhana would not, or Bhishma would not. They would not be able to play any role what they had to, if they would have realized that he is the Lord God himself. It would not happen. So that's why they perform this action of malice, of jealousy, of hurt, of insult. But the person who has gone beyond that, like that grandparent, a grandfather, he would not mind them. It's all right. There is said to be one story in the life of Buddha when Buddha was going on. So there was one butcher, he had captured one small baby goat which he was about to slaughter. Not that goats are or other animals are not being slaughtered anywhere else. Everywhere they are slaughtered. In the time of Buddha also, everywhere they are being slaughtered. People are eating meat. Nothing new about it. So he is not passing some legislation or stopping some all crimes against animals or anything like that. He is not doing any such sort of thing. There is a one small goat, there is a butcher, and there is Buddha. Buddha says, if you just want meat, Buddha is tall and probably has some meat upon him. He says, if you just want meat, take my meat. You can slaughter me and release the goat. That is just one goat. He is Buddha himself. He is not before to realization, he is already Buddha. He is already Buddha. But just the sake of our one goat, not like he is passing some legislation into the dominion of that kingdom that no goats will be slaughtered. For an ordinary insignificant goat, Buddha is ready to give his life also. He doesn't mind that what will happen to his Sangha, who will teach, who will guide, what will happen to earth, my mission, this thing, that thing. He doesn't even count that. Doesn't live in such any kind of illusion. He just plainly says. And his offer is not sentimental, emotional, or or empty. It's plain offer. You just want meat, there is sufficient meat on my person. Suppose you being human being not eating the human flesh, but other animals can definitely eat. If you are feeding them, still makes sense. You can take the meat of my body. No problem. He doesn't count that he is Buddha or like that. He doesn't pose himself. Ultimately, the butcher decides against his intention and releases the goat. So, Buddha was a very powerful conversationalist, and because he was also a realized person, no doubt he was equally intelligent. And when these things are combined, his natural disposition is very calm. Though the prince is not aggressive, but because he is born out of a princely bloodline. He is persuasive, he is diplomatic, he is daring, because he is prince. So no other biographies mention, but there are biographies which mentions that Buddha actually went on war when he was king, when he was prince. There are some Nepalis or some biographical version which are not much in vogue, because it doesn't matter much. That is not the message of the Buddha, etc., etc., regardless of it. Because Buddha left the house when he was well in 30s. At that time, age of 15 itself, people used to go to war. That is sufficient age to go on war. So not like today's times. When 25 years old also themselves calls kids. So at that time, 15 years old means a grown-up man. They also used to get married. By the 16, etc., they are also having children. 16, 17. There is. So it is. So point is that. But Buddha is a realized person. So Buddha can immediately know the depth of the person, the weaknesses of the person, and the error of the person. And Buddha has, most of all, that great spiritual wealth, power. He can transform the other person. Not everybody having every other virtue without spiritual capital cannot be guaranteedly said that he can do that, transform the person. For that, when he has the spiritual wealth and then he has this whole repertoire of this, all these ammods, then he can engage the person. So if anybody goes to talk with Buddha, he cannot return back. Buddha was very, very powerful. Very powerful. So, not only that, so there is one story about Buddha, that there were his 4 major disciples. So they belong to different prevalent ways of living. So one day when one person came, he came with his a lot of disciples, and he said to Buddha that Buddha, you say like this, Gautama, okay? So argue with me, okay? And if you can defeat me in the argument and this logic, I will convert with all my disciples into your fold. Buddha says it's a morning time. His other disciples, one of the major, he is also sitting behind him. Buddha says, look, you have come from so far. Why don't you take rest? Why don't you take rest? Stay here. And he says, live 1 year with me. Okay. Live 1 year with me, and after exactly 1 year, whatever you have to ask, you ask. And then decide as you want. Okay. So this visitor is likely to accept that proposal. So Mahakashyap is probably standing behind. And he says, don't listen to him, visitor. Don't listen to Buddha. Whatever you have to ask and argue, do it now. If you stay 1 year, there is no way you are getting out. So Buddha is a tremendous personality. So these people, Ishwar Avatar, when they are born and they take birth as ordinary human being to show to the world this path. They behave like ordinary being. Most of the people, they do not know. So they behave with them as the ways of the world are, motivated by their passion and desires. And the person who has really transcended these things, the Buddha, the enlightened Jivan Mukta Mahapurush, the one who has firmly established himself into the divine through that Ananya Yoga. So for them, how can he come down to this level to mind it? All their ways, including their punishments, are with compassion only, are with a reason only. So Rama has to kill someone or punish someone, or Krishna has to behave in some way. It is with the reason. It is for the people to follow a dharma. So this is the 18th and 19th verse. 19th verse is also similar. Tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kenachit. So there are no desire which are unfulfilled. So he is always santushta. Aniketaha. That Aniketa is who does not have anything of his own house. Niketana. Niketa, there is no Niketa. So that is Aniketa. What does it mean? That he is not grounding himself on any dogma. He is not going by the beliefs or narratives. Aniketa. He does not seek any shelter because he is established in the spirituality. Aniketa. Sthiramati. That's why his ideas, his mind is never wavered, never affected by these things, because he knows clearly the truth. Sthiramati. And this person is Bhaktiman. After having all these things, then he seeks this humility, devotion, surrender to God, who lacks nothing. And then he becomes devotee. And such devotee, Bhagavan says, then he is beloved of me. Who lacks nothing, who seeks nothing of this world, and spiritually attained everything. And then he becomes humble and bow his head. Doesn't become arrogant, that I have, gone beyond all these things, all duality. I am having this Nirvikalpa Samadhi. I am great. No. After that, he is become a... So, Sri Ramakrishna, we see, still so humble. That you see, but somebody, he is, treating him like a Mr. Gardener. He never, even by the slightest, he never minded that. Somebody asked him to give him a flower, like some aristocrat, thinking that he is gardener. He simply cut the flower and gave to him. Never even showed from his face. And then that the same person who goes there and see that he is the Paramahansa to meet whom he has come. And he is bitterly embraced. And he cajoles him that you did not feel like that, etc. So these things cannot even reach, this pettiness cannot reach him. So, Aniketaha sthiramati bhaktiman me priyanara. That is the devotee who is beloved of the God himself. So there is only the last verse. So this it adds nothing much here. Etu dharmya amrutam idam yathoktam paryupasate. That one who does upasana of this, the people shraddha dhana, the people endowed with shraddha, mat parama, oriented towards me. And these are the devotees, they are very dear to me. Bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. So they are extremely beloved of me. Meaning that now, in the terminology of these characters, all the time what is being done here throughout these narratives, keeping before us, bringing before us the idea of true spirituality, what spirituality is, what, therefore this is meditation on Brahman itself. It is not enumeration of characters, qualities. It is not that. If you pay attention, it is meditation on Brahman. So, this is the 12th, one of the most enthralling verses of Srimad Bhagavad Gita are here in this 12th chapter. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Dvadasha Adhyaya. So, we will conclude this discussion here, and next time, the next class, अगले सप्ताह क्लास होगा तो next Sunday there would. So we will begin with the 13th chapter. Okay then. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.